Hi friends, Miss Irish here. So in science we've been learning about living and non-living things, and we talked about what plants need, what animals need. We've done the life cycle of a butterfly. Today we're going to learn about the life cycle of a frog. So I'm going to read this book to you called From Tadpole to Frog, and then there are going to be some questions for you to go back and answer. All right, first we're going to read the story called From Tadpole to Frog. It is written by Wendy Pfeffer and illustrated by Holly Color. All right, so let's read about the life cycle of a frog. This is Frog Pond, but where are the frogs? So there is Frog Pond, but there are no frogs there yet. When winter winds whistle, the frogs hide. They sleep at the bottom of the pond in the soft mud. Frogs hibernate, which means they sleep, in their hideaway all winter long. So here are the frogs hibernating in the pond. They're sleeping. After the ice melts, flowers appear, birds return, and pond creatures wake up. Spring has arrived at Frog Pond. Here are the old frogs stretching their legs. At night you hear ba-ra-room, ba-ra-room, ba-ra-room. The males are calling to their mates. Here are the frogs. The females hear the call. The male hugs his mate. He fertilizes her egg as she lays them in the water. Thousands of soft, jelly-covered eggs cling together in the cool water. In about 10 days, the eggs hatch. The pond comes alive with thousands of tiny tadpoles. They wiggle their tails and breathe underwater with gills just like fish. So there she is laying her eggs, and there they are. All the little tadpoles are hatching, or the eggs are hatching rather. During the summer, the tadpoles swim about, eating water plants. But water beetles, snakes, and birds are eating too. They're eating tasty tadpoles. So the tadpoles like to eat the plants, but everything else likes to eat the tadpoles. When fall comes, look carefully in the water. Are any tadpoles left? I don't know. Look carefully. Do you see any tadpoles? I don't think I see any tadpoles. Look here. Are there tadpoles or wet leaves? They're brownish speckled tadpoles. Hundreds of them float by with the brownish speckled leaves. Eating and swimming, swimming and eating, the tadpoles grow fat. So here are the tadpoles swimming along with the leaves. They're kind of blending in with the brown leaves. So on the other page, it looked like it was just leaves, but they were really tadpoles. When winter winds blow again, they burrow under the mud at the bottom of the pond. They do not eat. They do not move. They just sleep. So when winter comes, just like when they're frogs, the tadpoles hibernate in the mud also, which means they're sleeping. Kind of like bears do. Bears hibernate also in the winter. When spring sunshine warms the tadpole's world, they awake hungry. So they swim and eat and swim. Their hind legs begin to sprout. Tiny hind legs begin to sprout. They grow longer and stronger while the tail grows shorter. So here are the tadpoles, and they're growing little back legs, and their tails are starting to grow shorter. Tiny front legs begin to show. The tadpoles look like long-tailed frogs. All summer, the tadpoles change more. Lungs develop and more mouths and eyes grow larger and more until they become frogs. So here are their little front legs. So their back legs have grown a lot bigger, but they still have little tiny legs, and they still have this tail. And then over here, they're looking more and more like frogs. The tail is getting shorter. The front legs are getting longer. When their tails disappear, they are no longer tadpoles. Now they use their strong legs and webbed feet to swim instead of their tails. So here it looks, now it's really looking like a frog. So now he is no longer a tadpole, he is a frog, and he's using his feet to swim instead of his tail. Now they can rest on lily pads and leap onto land. The frog flicks out their tongue, sticky tongues, and capture worms, spiders, and dragonflies. Now, where are the frogs? So here's the frog on the lily pad, and he's eating this tasty dragonfly. And over here, where are the frogs at? Slowly the days grow colder. Winter winds blow. Birds fly south. Once again, the pond creatures hibernate. Where are the frogs now? There's the pond during winter again. Where do you think the frogs are? Right, remember the frogs are hibernating under the mud because it's winter. There are about 2,000 kinds of frogs. They are different in size, shape, habitats, and color, but they are alike in many ways. All frogs come from eggs, to legless fish-like tadpoles to four-legged adults. The frog pictured throughout this book is a bullfrog. It is the largest frog in the United States. That's where we live. The bullfrog tadpole takes up to 2 years to change into a frog. Other tadpoles take anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 years to change into frogs. Here are some other kinds of frogs. All right, first one is a leopard or grass frog. Leopard frogs are the most common frogs in the United States. They are covered with leopard-like spots and have a deep chuckle. Their chuckle, I guess, is like their call. Pickerel frog. Pickerel frogs are greenish-brown with squarish, dark brown spots. Poison comes out of their skin. Snakes will not eat them. So those are the two frogs on this page. This is the pickerel frog, and this is the leopard frog. I've actually seen a lot of these where I grew up, and we used to play with them, and the tadpoles also. We used to watch them grow into frogs. Wood frog. Wood frogs live in the woods. They lay eggs in quiet woodland pools. They are brownish with black robbers' masks on their faces. Spring pepper. Spring peppers have loud, clear voices. They start to sing after the first warm rain. Peppers are one of the first signs of spring. Gray tree frog. Gray tree frogs live in the trees and shrubs. They come down only to lay eggs in nearby ponds or streams. Their colors change to match their eyes or the trees. They can stay still for a long time so their enemies do not see them. All right, here is the wood frog, and there is his little robber mask. That's what they're talking about. And then this one is the spring pepper. And then down here is the gray tree frog. So he's very gray. Where are the bullfrogs? This map shows where bullfrogs live throughout the United States. So here's a map of the United States. And this is where all the bullfrogs are. So you can see we live over here on the East Coast, and there's a lot of bullfrogs throughout our region. So the majority of the bullfrogs are over here in the area that we live in, on the East Coast. All right, that is the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed learning about bullfrogs and their life cycle. So now you're going to take some time to answer some questions, and I will see you again soon. Bye.